Yeah, well, as we continue on with our little conversations about problems in the world and everything, aside from the fact of being able to help people, putting you or me or whoever's trying to help somebody else in jeopardy. I mean, you can totally put on a mask and throw on a BLM shirt right now, and you can go destroy the livelihoods of black people in cities by destroying their business and everything. And people try to get behind you and say that you care for black lives. I mean, that's what's going on, man. Get with the times. There's nothing like caring for black people for now than to go and destroy their lives. It's only everywhere. It's all you can do. You know, it's easy. It's easy to be destructive and stuff like that. But man, the moment you try to care for somebody, you might go to prison. We might sue your butt for it. Yeah, you're not qualified to give advice. You're qualified to swing a bat and destroy somebody, man. Like, damn, man, you sure ain't qualified to help anyone. You can't tell them not to kill themselves. It's getting bad out there, y'all. It's getting real bad. It's amazing we live in these type of times, isn't it? And I'm not exaggerating on nothing. BLM really is a rebranded KKK. That's all it is. It's all about destroying black lives. There's plenty of black people out there sitting there saying they had their homes and their livelihoods or businesses destroyed by young people, different colors. A lot of them were white liberal kids destroying by black businesses under the term BLM. That's literally out there. You can find it. So don't sit there and say, "Oh, that's not true." Yes, it is true. It's actually a rebranded KKK. That's all it is. And before you go to mouth not too much about the KKK, uh, 1/3 of the people that they killed were white. And that's a fact too. So anyway, let's take a look at another little problem that we can needs to be addressed here, and that's carelessness versus overcaring. Uh, Obviously, if you're being cold and giving tough love, that can be a very, very bad thing. But we need to consider something. You cannot help anyone that will not help themselves. And you don't need to be wasting your time sticking with one person that can't be helped. No matter how many times you reach out, you need to just forget about it and move on. There are people out there that you can save, and you cannot save people when you obsess and consistently stay with one person trying to save them, and you can't save them. Now, I understand there's no sense in being cold hearted and being cruel about things, but too many people are being overly gentle, being overly catering to people's feelings, stuff like that. And you know what you're doing? You're spoiling them, you're making it just as bad, if not worse. I see tough love as being a little bit better than catering to somebody, spoiling them where they can't take care of themselves anymore. You know, Jerry Clower, an old comedian, he's passed on now. He teaches a very good story about a woman who adopts a little pet squirrel in the wild. I don't remember the story much on how she got the squirrel. I don't know if she found it orphaned or what. But she found the squirrel and everything, and she would crack nuts open and feed the squirrel. And the squirrel got to where it was getting sickly and everything. She took it to a vet and stuff like that. And the vet said the squirrel's dying. There's nothing I can do. And she wanted to know why. And he said, well, he says it's because you have loved the squirrel to death. She was so obsessed with taking care of the squirrel that she didn't let it run its natural course. See, squirrels' teeth consistently grow. And part of the process, another thing is they eat. They have to gnaw on things. They have to break those nuts open themselves and everything to keep their teeth ground down so they can eat. Where she was taking care of the squirrel and cracking the nuts open for it and everything, its teeth grew too long. There was nothing they could do about it. He said it was literally to kill a squirrel, just trying to remove the teeth at this point. She had loved the squirrel to death. And too many people today don't have it in them to buck up and be tougher on people because they're so scared that they have a negative effect. I got news for you. When you are loving too much, when you are catering to people, when you just keep on saying it's all right and calm down, so no, sometimes you got to tell people, look, you're gonna have to man up a little bit. If you're that, you're being too pathetic, you're being too whiny, you're being too spoiled, you're wanting your way too much. And that's a fact. So I understand not being cruel, but I'm telling you, you can't be overly gentle either. You can't do it. You spoil people. You get them. You kiss up to them, stuff like that, and go on and just be nice, nice, nice. They start taking advantage of you. It spoils them. It makes them worse. It makes their attitudes worse. You got to put the punishment where the punishment is due, and that's just a fact. You got to think. And you can't save them. You just need to move on. So look, I've tried to help you. Evidently, if you want to say, put blame on yourself and say, look, evidently I can't help you. I need to try to let someone else help you, or whatever you need to do. But don't stick on the same person too long. If they don't listen to you, they might not listen to you. They might listen to somebody else. It might be the right thing to do to say, look, evidently I can't help you. You need to move on from somebody else. It's just some people you can't help. If they're not going to help themselves, there's nothing that you can do, and you've got to realize that. You got to tell them, look, you're gonna have to man up a little bit. You got to straighten up. You have to be willing to help yourself. Too often, too many excuses. Tonight I've been lying to somebody, just making excuse after excuse, and there's no helping this person. Give me excuse about just problems is just too great, this and that. Man, I'm out of a poor area too, and I see problem after problem myself. And I see people with health issues that go get the help, and it's ridiculous. At this point, I'm seeing nothing but excuses being made, and there's no excuse out there. That's simply the truth. All kinds of people in these positions have bad illnesses and poor stuff like that, but they get it done. They don't make excuses. They go get it done. It's just, and there's nothing much else I can do. And it's in a particular group. I'm thinking about just archiving it anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's the point. You can't help everyone. You can't help those that won't help themselves. And it's understanding not to be cold and cruel, but also don't go too far the opposite direction. It's understanding that you need to be kind and polite and loving, but don't get babying, don't get motherly, don't go too far. Don't do that stuff. Hold your ground, be strict when you have to. Too many people are just being way too light, man. And you are not helping the situation, you're not helping the person out, you're making them worse in that direction also. You've got to hold your ground, not give them too much. Okay?